is here. The champ 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 is here.
Welcome to State Champions Podcast, where we discuss people, politics, community, and culture. What would a podcast be with two great friends? Current coach, a former coach, former high school teammates that won not one but two Class A state championships here in Detroit, Michigan, be without us discussing sports. I'm your co-captain, Raphael, and to my left is co-captain George T. Ward. G, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. The weather breaking a little bit. You know, they tricked us a couple weeks ago, but we good. We got a fun topic tonight, man. Great discussion. Ready to get back at it, man. You know, it's crazy how this time flies. You look up. Man, we just had my man in the basement. Seemed like it was about 3-4 months ago, man.
Hey, you know how I go, G. So let's do this. Make sure that everybody get you a drink, get you something, whether if you drink champagne, because that's what we doing, because we toasting to the champs. Yeah. Or if you don't drink, just get you some water, get you some iced tea, some lemonade, whatever it is. But it's a celebration because we always find a way to celebrate on State Champions Podcast. And tonight, it is really definitely a great celebration because we got two guys that's going to be on the show that not one, two, three championships in the last 2 years. The Division I, Coach Ray Mitchell, and Division II, none other than Coach Wydell Henry. He's going to be in the building. They're going to be joining the show shortly. But what we want to do before we get started, make sure y'all get everything together. Call a friend, tell a friend. What number can they call? G, you remember the number? 313-458-4445. Yeah, if y'all got some questions, make sure y'all tune in. Go into the chat. Don't go into the chat unless you got some great questions. But we prefer that you call
us up.
Call and ask the coaches some different things. See what you want to know, what they doing, and how everything gonna go. Make sure you do all those type of things because it's gonna be a wonderful evening. So I want to say this before we really get started as well. This episode of State Champions Podcast is brought to you by none other than State Champions Construction Group.
Okay.
State Champion Construction Group. And you know we're doing this summer, G. This summer I've been awarded a contract with the city of Detroit for Grow Detroit Young Talent. So we're going to be able to teach young people just the intro to the construction trade. Man. So make sure if you want to get involved, you want your son to get involved, make sure you hit us up at State Champion Construction Group at gmail.com, State Champion Construction Group at gmail.com. And hit us up and we'll get back with you, give you more information because it's like an internship.
What you talking about?
And it's really like earn while you learn. That's what I'm calling it. So it's going to be really, really good. Make sure you do that because our young people need other things to do and they need to get into some type of a skilled trade because that's what we do. Go ahead, G.
And stop saying we don't have anything for our young people to do. You know, I hear people say that a lot. I can tell you this. There's more employment opportunities now for our young people than they were that I knew about when we were young people. So when you look at it, opportunity to get a skilled trade from somebody that really, really is an expert in this field. Come on, man. Let's make sure we do this. Stop saying we don't have things for our young people to do. Make sure they get their buttons in the morning, earn their way. Man, it's a hell of opportunity for them. So take full advantage of it.
Oh, no doubt about it, G. I sure appreciate that. So without further ado, what we're going to do, we're going to welcome to the stage. He is the Division I head winning coach from East Lansing High School, none other than Ray Mitchell. Coach, how you doing? Welcome to the show. How you doing, Coach?
And I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no, we glad that you're on, Coach. We just want to make sure that all the people out here get a chance to hear your views, your thoughts, and that magnificent run that you put together to pull it out at the end and become the state champion. And we're going to get to a lot of questions. I'm sure G going to have a lot. Yeah. I'm going to have a lot. And we're going to just make sure that we get all that insight And then make sure the young guys who maybe middle school coaches, probably some just some PAL coaches or other people,
AAU coaches,
coaches, get some insight because we're gonna ask a lot of great questions for you and from you, and we want that insight so you can give us some more information. Go ahead, G. I know you got something.
Man, no, I just wanted to say, getting started out, you talked about the run, but just kudos to you, Ray. We understand for the last couple of years you've been grinding this thing out, and last year everybody around the city, again, people around the state kind of found out a little later, but you guys played some wonderful games here in the city last season, so we kind of expected you guys to be right up there. So kudos to you, man. Hell of a job. Hey, enjoy this time, man. Enjoy this time because the pressure back on to make it happen again. Kudos to you.
All right. Without further ado, our other guy. I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna get a reserve sign and just put it here because this is not his first. This is his second.
Yeah.
His second time winning the Division II, none other than Coach Wydell Henry. Man, welcome to the show. We really appreciate you being here. How you doing, boy?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm feeling good. What's up, fellas?
Man, you know how I go.
Y'all
we enjoying life. What you doing?
What are you doing?
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, man, Wydell. And I want to add one more thing. Again, make sure you guys follow, subscribe, like us on YouTube because we got to get some more followers. We're giving great content,
no question,
information for the people. We got to keep it going. So, G, check it out. What you think? I got plenty of questions for both coaches.
Yeah.
Can I start it off, G?
Yeah, you started off.
Okay. So, all right, Coach, I just remember this to either one of y'all, but we're going to start off with Coach up in East Lansing. We got them piped in. We doing some good things.
Yeah.
We like ESPN.
We
like ESPN up in here. Yeah. So this for both of y'all, but I'm going to start off with this. I remember coming up as a young fella playing at Cooley, obviously winning the state championship as a player. But years later, I asked Coach Kelso, Coach, when did you realize that we were good enough to win the state championship? And I remember Kelso said, Ralph, I knew that we were good enough to win it the summer of 1986.
Yep.
Now, listen, the summer of 1986, when we had to go to camp down in the Saint, we went up to Vern Payne. We went all over the state. Yep. So to both of you, Coach Mitchell, when did you realize that maybe it was in season, maybe it was after the first of the year? What was the turning point where you realized that, you know what?
We can get this thing.
We can win this whole thing. Coach, you go first.
Well, hey, it's crazy you said that because it was the same for me, man. A couple of summers ago, we try to play everybody throughout the summer and just see where we're at, check our temperature a little bit. And we had some success 2 summers ago. So we knew we had the potential, but we had to figure out how to get over that hump. Like Coach Ward said, we try to schedule as many city teams possible, man. I come down there 3 or 4 times a year, try to go to Grand Rapids, go to Mesquite, wherever we got to go to just get our guys a little bit tougher, get them used to playing a different style of ball. And a couple summers ago, man, I knew we had the potential, but last year we really weren't ready. We had to still learn and take some lumps. We took some lumps last year, and this summer we had a great summer as well. So I knew that it was still there, but we still had to figure out how to get over that hump. But I think just the teams that we play throughout the year, man, that the schedule was crazy, and it just prepared us, to get a little bit tougher, to play smarter, play harder, figure it out, until we got, to where we're at right now.
Okay, Coach. Now, Brother Wydell, you want to add to that? When did you realize that your team could win it all? Well, this is your second year, but take us back to that first run. When did you realize that you could win it all?
Well, last year was a little bit. I felt we was stacked. And, we had toughness, we had guards, and we had a chance. This year, I knew bringing 7 guys back, and I was bringing my guard. Without guards, you can't win. And me and G Ward, we talk a lot of time. We spent a lot of days. We work together, man, and we just talk. And we always talk about having good guards. And if we have good guards, you could be in any game. So I knew we had a chance to win coming into the season. But it was difficult, coming off and winning one. I guess we'll talk about that. But I knew once the horn went off last year that I'm bringing my 7 singers back, that I was going to have opportunity to have a chance to win another one.
Wow. So, and I'm going to tell you this, and it's funny you said that because I remember And one thing about Wydell, if you really don't know Wydell, he not really gonna talk no trash. Okay, he not really gonna talk no trash. So I see him back in the fall. He said, Ralph, get your tickets ready for Breslin because I'm gonna win it again. Now that's what he told me way back in. That was in the fall. He told me, he said, get the tickets ready for Breslin because he was going to win it again. And sure enough, Coach, congratulations. So let's do this. Coach, I hope you got you something. I hope the people out there who tuning in, make sure y'all got y'all something. Let's salute these state championship coaches. Salute to you. Salute to you, Ray. Coach Ray. Salute. We sure appreciate it. Appreciate you joining the show. G.
Yeah, Ray.
So, G, go ahead. What's your question?
Well, you know what? Hey, Ray, it's crazy because, before the season started, you obviously you talk to coaches all the time. And after the BCAM event, talking to my players and just being transparent with them, I talked about championship caliber teams. So my favorites for Division I, I tell anybody, East Lansing, Wayne Memorial, and the dark horse for me kind of would have been Orchard Lake just because they had a hell of a player.
Okay.
And then in Division II, I kind of knew, didn't know how the route would go, but I felt like the two teams that would probably be there would be Romulus Summit and then, of course, Wydell Henry and the Abes over in Warren Lincoln. How did y'all deal with the expectations, though? Because, again, we've lived that, right? Ralph and I talked about that. We've lived that as players. How did you and your guys deal with the expectations? And was it ever a time where kind of you looked at your guys and thought maybe they got a little complacent or a little comfortable and thought this thing was going to be easy?
Well, all right, I'll start off. To me, it's about the daily grind, we don't get caught up in shoulda, coulda, wouldas and all that stuff, man. We just try to work hard, prepare, and let the chips fall where they may. And so you can't. I don't believe in pressure. I don't believe in that. You create your own luck and all that stuff. So we approach it as every day, man. We got to work and prepare for a championship. We got to prepare like a champion. We got to go hard. We got to attack every drill. We got to listen to every detail. And during the course of the season, we have to get better. I thought, like, at the start of our season, it's kind of weird. With high school kids, man, all the kids know each other, right? Yeah. So I'm always preparing and trying to hype up our opponent, but I don't think my kids truly believe me, So, like, that's the hardest part with my team. My guys are so good that they think they can just come out, show up, and just beat teams, right? So that was the big part of our season, trying to show our guys how to be team players, offensively. Like, defensively, we've been connected. We've been having real good defense the last few years, but we were very stagnant at the beginning of the year offensively. We weren't playing our best offensive basketball because our guys think they can just go one-on-one every time and just take bad shots and still win. So the crazy thing is we lost to Muskegon in overtime, and that was the best thing to happen for my team because we played horrible on defense. On offense, decent on defense, but we had a chance to win. We were up 3 with the ball with 7 seconds left. But I told our guys afterwards we didn't deserve to win that game. And I'm so happy we didn't win that game because we wouldn't have been able to probably win the state championship because we still would have been playing, that one-on-one basketball, not sharing the ball, not getting ball reversals, that type of deal. So it's a daily grind, but it's about making your team believe and understand and playing the right way at the end of the season. We started clicking the last few weeks, and we just rolled that throughout the playoffs.
Wow. Why? How did y'all deal with the expectations?
Man, for me, it was tough this year. It was a little different. And, y'all being back-to-back state champs, it was a struggle because my guys had got complacent and bored. Mm-hmm. We've been doing it. I had 4-year guys who like, man, we doing these same drills. We're going to do zigzags again. Like, so getting them, encouraging them, like, look, this is what we got to do. We got to prepare. I know y'all can do it, but we got guys who ain't done it yet on the team. We was I felt like, honestly, G, and I talked to you about it, I think my team was bored, most of the season. They was ready for March. Had been there before, and I had told them, we got to set goals. And our first goal was to win our conference. Like, you can't look past nobody. And, I credit Ray. We went up there to Lansing, feeling good, feeling a certain way, thinking we was, all of that in the bag, bag of chips, unbeatable, and Ray, he stuck it to us bad up there, and it was embarrassment. They felt it. And, and even though we didn't have, our floor general, it still was, it was a learning experience for us. I'm like, man, everybody is going to give you your best shot night in, night out. So we can't be bored. We can't be complacent. And probably after our UAD victory, when we beat them down here, when they was number one,
yep.
I think they kind of was like the light came on, like, let's go win this thing again. And like Ray said, man, when you got 5 guys out there or 6 guys out there that can play, it's all about the team. And that's all I preach from the summer to the last game of the season. And the last game of the season, I mean, when you hear to see the stats, it was all about team, and that was very important to me. So it was a little different for me. It was a challenge. They walked out on me this year. We doing jumping chairs and running stairs, and they got together and said, man, we ain't doing this, man. And it was bad because the seniors, was led to walk out. And I'm like,
really?
That's okay.
What?
I said, that's okay. Y'all walk out. I had a couple of days to relax. But when y'all come back, we're going to finish where we started. And, we had a conversation, and I told them the expectations ain't going to change. What the program was, what we do, it ain't going to change. And y'all going to buy in. Y'all got 5 months to deal with me, seniors, but we're going to do it my way, and I'm not changing. And it worked out for us, which was a blessing.
Behind the scenes.
I want to know, that's outstanding. I want to add to that, Brother Wydell, because I remember our second year when we were on our state championship run. And of course, sort of the same way, we wanted to do it our way. And Coach Kelso was like, okay, we were playing, and Brother Ray, we were playing, I believe it was McKenzie. So we wanted to run and gun. And so we decided, Kelso said, okay, I'm going to let you guys run and gun. I'm going to let you guys do it the way that you think you can win.
Absolutely.
And we played up and down. Now, it was fun for the fans.
At Cooley High.
At Cooley High, it was a highly contested game. It was high scoring. But you know what happened? We got beat. And it was the best thing that could have happened to us, because Kelso was able to will us back in and said, I tried to explain to you fellas that just because you won last year does not mean it's going to be automatic this year. And I'm going to do it my way. I knew I could afford to lose a game in the middle of the season versus at the end. So that's some great stuff. G, you got something? Because I got another question I want to shoot out.
Hey, Ray, real quick, because that's crazy. And that's some hell of a work right there to talk about. That's part of your book right there.
Yeah.
Ray, what happened behind the scenes? Give us something behind the scenes where you could look at, and when your guys in 20 years, when y'all had a reunion of the state championship, give us something behind the scenes, positive or, a little tricky, that you had to deal with, and it ended up being a benefit to you.
Behind the scenes, let me see, man. You know what? Kind of what you guys, we said it already, but it's just having guys truly understand where I'm coming from as a coach, right? So you have your individual meetings, and then we had to have a heart-to-heart team meeting, royal clarity, right, in front of everybody. And I just had to break down the players, and I always kind of like put a bug in my best player's ear. Hey, man, I'm about to say some things you might not like, but look, this for the benefit of the team. I need you to accept this and not be pouty. Not, you kind of break them down first, right? But then I start each individual, and I start my best guys, and I tell them what they're not doing right. You could be scoring 20 points a game, but look, you're not blocking out every time, right? You're not talking on defense. You two times in a row, you ain't call out the screens. So I had to break down each individual and just trickle it all the way down to the guys who weren't playing that much, right? I had to explain to those guys, hey, listen, when I put you in this game, this was the mistake you made right away. You can't do that. You don't have the same, you don't have the same rope as the starter. Things of that nature, man. So I thought that was very beneficial to our team. And this was toward the end of the year, but it had to be done because we were just starting to develop some lazy habits, just not understanding every possession is key. Every detail is key. Closing out, blocking out is key. Why you getting fouls on these 3-point shots because you're not finishing the block out properly. All the little details, I had to just break guys down and simplify it. And so when we got to the playoffs, we weren't going to make those same mistakes, and we were going to have an understanding of what I needed from those guys. So I thought that was very beneficial to our success.
Wow, that's great stuff, Coach Ray. Coach, I want to ask this question to both of you guys, and we'll start with you, Wydell. You're coaching now. Looking into the future, after you're done coaching, what legacy do you want to leave with your players?
I had this conversation yesterday. I think one thing that I want to leave is I tell everybody I do it the right way. I'm not going to let the kids take shortcuts. We're going to touch the line every time. We're going to instill character, integrity, accountability. You play for me, you're going to be accountable for what's going on, and that's one thing that I take pride in. Like, my guys know whether they do right or not. They heard that over the years, and of course they was with me. Accountability, be accountable for whatever you do as a young man, and don't cheat the game, don't cheat yourself. Go hard at everything you do in life. So I think guys that played for me, even guys that played for me before I got to Lincoln, understand, like, just going hard all the time, and not taking shortcuts. I believe in, we're going to touch the line every time. If we don't, we're going to run it again, and they get tired of it. Well, tell your teammate to do it then. Hold them accountable.
Yeah.
Why you looking at me? It ain't
I ain't got nothing to do with it.
I ain't got nothing to do with it, but we're going to put that time back up there, and we're going to run again. And so I think my biggest thing is, when I'm done, is just my kids having some character and integrity.
Wow. Brother Ray, what legacy do you want to leave with your kids once you're done coaching? What legacy do you want to have in that impact?
Man, I think as coaches, we're kind of teachers, right? We want to prepare our kids to be successful when they leave our programs, when they leave high school. We want to know what you're going to do in college. We want to know beyond that. So just like Wydell said, man, it's about character, right? I have a saying, are you a character or do you have character? And to me, what does that mean? That means, like, what are you doing when people ain't looking, right? Are you cutting the corners? Are you cheating? Are you know what I'm saying? Or are you just making the right decisions all the time? Because you're in competition. Life is a sport. Basketball is kind of like life, right? You gotta work with a team. Unless you some genius and you can be the CEO or something, more than likely you're gonna be working with somebody, right? In order to have a good working relationship, you got to be a good person. You got to be accountable. You got to grind every day. You got to work hard every day. Because guess what? You're in competition with billions and millions of people out there, man. And in order to be successful, whatever your passion is, you got to go after it. And you got to be the best person that you could be every single day. And you got to just let the chips fall where they may after that. Because if you're cheating, right? If you're working hard, you're going to get what you put into it. So, man, it's about, like I said earlier, that daily grind, man. Everything, you got to just try to do it right to the best of your ability. Then you can live with the outcome. But when you haven't, and then you have shortcomings, that's kind of on you. But we try to, like, knock that out of them while we preparing, through basketball.
Wow, that's good. That's good action, man.
That's good action. Go, G. I know you got more. I got tons of them.
Ray, again, Lansing basketball, that whole area, to a certain degree, you guys have kind of felt like your basketball has been disrespected somewhat. This validation for you, East Lansing, you guys were on the map. I remember Coach Fenimore, God rest his soul, they did a great job up there. But what kind of pride do you feel right now? You're an East Lansing guy, hell of a player yourself. What kind of pride do you feel, and how has the community received you? Because I'm looking at certain things on social media. Now they're like, well, is East Lansing the best team from this area, or how do they rank? How has it felt for you and your guys to know that you really have rewritten history a little bit?
Well, the community support has been just crazy. It's been, if you were at the Brez and you saw it, I mean, it was blue and white every year. The support just through the roof. I mean, there's been so much positive things that came out of this run that it's a great thing, man. Like, East Lansing is really hasn't been known for basketball in my lifetime. Like you said, I played at East Lansing. I didn't play varsity my freshman year, but my freshman year, they only won two games,
Wow.
By my senior year, I had them boys ranked number 9 in the state at one point in time right before the playoffs. And then, they've had some runs here or there. They made it to the Breslin once, found a way a few times. But I wanted to bring that championship vibe to it. I coached at Sexton for like 8 years with Coach Valentine, and I learned a lot from him, and I saw the way he did it. And I wanted to bring that to my neighborhood. It's crazy because I never wanted to coach at East Lansing. I'm actually from Pontiac, Michigan. So I'm from Pontiac. I grew up in Pontiac, and I lived in Pontiac till I was 10 years old. But when I got done playing basketball in my college career, my high school coach, the late great Chris Ferguson, would always ask me to come back and coach at East Lansing, and I'd be like, man, those kids don't need me. Them suburban kids don't need me. I'm straight. But then like Coach Valentine asked me to help at Sexton. I'm like, man, I can help these kids from this neighborhood better. I think they need me more than these Lansing kids.
Wow.
So to make a long story short, I got my juices flowing over there, got going a little bit, and we had our run, and then some things happened, and then I said, man, I was doing AAU as well. I coached with the Mustangs, I coached with Family, coached with Team Detroit Stars, all types of teams. But I'm making all these other kids' dreams come true as far as like fulfilling their college dreams and stuff like that. What about the kids from my neighborhood? Like, why don't I go back and try to influence those guys and show those guys how to be champions? So that was my main goal, man, was just to try to get to the Breslin, get our program to that level. And, once I knew we had a good crop of kids coming, and it kind of inspired me. We had a couple chances. Like, people don't understand how COVID affected everybody. I know everybody probably thought they had the whip and had all these teams, but I had a great team during that first COVID year that I thought could have got at least to the Breslin, right? Then the following year, I had another great team, and the game before we could get to the Breslin, we had 2 players out, starters, that couldn't play in the game because they got COVID the day before the game. So like it was a grind, and it was just our mission just to get to the Breslin, right? Once you get there, then you let the chips fall where they may. You go try to win it. But I just wanted to get our programs to the level, man. So I've seen it. I've been through it. Man, I know a lot of basketball. Like I said, I'm from Pontiac, but also this is like some stuff people don't know, like some information you was asked about earlier. 10 people in my family play Division I basketball.
Wow.
10 between me and my cousins, man. So like it started at a young age. My cousin Kirk James, he played at MSU back in '80, right after they won the national championship. So I used to go to them games, man. But when I was at them games, I wasn't like the other kids just running around. I was actually watching, right? I wanted to be a Division I basketball player. They planted that seed. Then I had other cousins that played at Ball State, John James, and girl cousin June Hardy played at Michigan, U of M. Then Sharon Brown played at Eastern. Yvette Brown played at Eastern. So like they all inspired me. I was out going to these games because we was a basketball family, and I was soaking it in and learning the game.
Learning the game.
Learning the game. There's a lot that goes into this stuff, man. But I wanted to bring all of that to where I was at now. And we just kept working at it.
And so now you arrive, Coach. And it's funny, somebody on here from Hoop Nation said congrats to both of you guys, to Lansing being a legend like Marcus Taylor, Ron Banks, and Valentine. You just mentioned everything. Wydell, somebody asked a question on here. They said, like coaches gave his background. For all my years when I first met you, I always thought you was a Persian guy. But tell us about your career, where you started as a player, and tell that story because I'm
sitting here now. Though that story is funny,
but I know, man. But I got to change because in my phone it got Wydell Persian, but I'm gonna put in Wydell. I got to change it, but it ain't gonna be Warren. It's gonna be champs. It's gonna be champs. You know what I'm saying? Tell everybody about that. Yo coming up in terms of basketball world.
For me, I grew up in the Persian neighborhood. 48234 stand up 03. But I was supposed to go to Persian play. I started off playing basketball at St. Rita with Reach. Okay. Mark and Verge, man. And I'm sitting here today because of them guys. They instilled a lot in me, man, when I was young. But one thing I always was a competitor. Everybody tell me, like, you was a coach then, but I didn't see it. So I've never been a follower, though. I've always been a leader. So when it was time to go to high school, it was some great guards coming out. TC, Brent Darby, Kendall LaShore. These guys could play. And, and I was good, but they was Blair. They already had their spot solidified at Persian, and I just wanted to play because of, the St. Rita. If you ain't playing basketball, you weren't really doing nothing. So I decided to go west. Okay. I went to Northwestern High School, man, and played 4 years and enjoyed it. Had a ball. We had two years where we could have won, but I had 4 coaches in 4 years. Not being a coach, there's no way we could have won for real. So
no sustainability.
Yeah. So we had 4 coaches in 4 years. Lanoyas Jackson passed my freshman year. Jack. Wow. I was looking forward to playing for him, and he passed. And from there, it was 3 different coaches. So I played there. Then I was gonna go on down to Alabama State and play. But my mom passed, and my little brother was 5 years old, so I had to turn around, stay here, and
Yes, sir.
become a man and raise him. And in doing that, I started going back up to reach, just trying to find my way. I was a little lost, 19, 20 years old. Mom just left. I was a mama's boy, and I went back up to St. Rita, and Verge and Mark like, hey man, get the whistle, do a session. I think they was getting tired, It was do a session and keeping me out of trouble, and I started doing sessions, what we used to call middle school and high school sessions for coaching basketball. And one day, Marcus Webster, who's on Orchard Lake staff, that's my dad, man. I shout out to him. He said, "Come on over to Nolan. You gonna help me coach these girls?" I'm like, "Coach?" I'm like, man. And I just did it. I started coaching middle school girls, and then I did middle school boys, and from there, just building relationships through Reach, AW Canada, and went over to Persian and was like, "Hey man, come on over here and coach the JV." And I did that for a couple of years, and then he said, "Hey man, come on, be my top assistant. I'm taking a head job." And from there, went from that to, "Hey man, I'm stepping down and I'm gonna give it to you." He gave me his blessing to do it, and I went from there. So that's pretty much my story.
That's great stuff. So we got some questions on here. Ray, a young lady, Monty Williams said, "Ray, how great was Lowell Wade?"
Low Wade.
How good was he?
I got a great story about Low Wade. So I'm in East Lansing, man. I went to this school called McDonald Middle School, and I had a friend named Will Wade. And he was just bragging about his cousin. Man, I got this cousin, Low Wade. He go to Sexton. Man, he this, he that, he this. So one day, I was over my man's Will Wade house, and lo and behold, Low Wade walked in the door, right? So we went straight to the park. I'm a little fella. Like, I'm like 5. I was 5. I grew in college. About 5'3", man. Low Wade was like about 5'10", damn near 200 pounds playing point guard. Man, this dude was so smooth, so cold. He's a Sexton legend, man. He's great point guard, great guy, man. Friend to this day. But it was kind of, I battled with him. I ain't never gonna let nobody give me like that. But he was intimidating. He looked like he was a dog, and he was a dog, and he was a great player at Lansing Sexton. He played. I think he was probably a senior maybe when I was a freshman. But he's a Lansing Sexton point guard legend.
Oh wow, that's some great stuff. G, you got a question? Cause I got some more.
Hey, why? I love this section right here, man. Where our people asking questions.
Yes, sir.
Somebody need to know your top 5 players. The P. Your top 5 players that you coached at Pershing.
Ooh, that I coached at Pershing.
That you coached at Pershing. They want to know your top 5.
Okay,
head coach, assistant coach, just
coach. You coached when you was coaching.
Honestly, Keith Applin.
Okay.
Oh, man, y'all doing this to me, man. K. Felder.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm going as me as a head coach, y'all, because I'm gonna keep it. Keith. I want the head coach with Keith, but Keith, he got to be one.
No question.
But I'm gonna go me as a head coach from there with K. Felder, Justin Tillman, because that person, you don't understand. This can get ugly. G.
What are you talking about?
I say the wrong names, man. You don't know your Persian history.
You don't know it. I told y'all we shouldn't have hired him on. They gonna go all the way back on you. But go ahead.
That I coach Derek Nix.
Okay, Big D Nix. Yeah, okay.
And Deshaun Sims, man. Jabari Curry it was tough though, man.
Jabari Curry.
Yeah, honorable mention Jabari Curry. DePaul.
I forgot about Jabari.
Yeah, Jabari Curry.
Okay.
But Derek Nix and Deshaun, them guys there, man. Now Persian people, please don't get mad at me. This is just they asked me off the record. I ain't had time to think.
You ain't had a time to think about that.
Yeah, but that's just off the top of my head.
All right, so I got another question for y'all. Oh, somebody said, what about Martez Walker?
Bad boy. Ooh. That's my guy, Melon, baby.
Melon. They said Melon. So I got another question. All right. I know we could talk about the basketball aspect. Yep. I'm a young person coming up, or I'm gonna flip it. I'm a dad. And I'm looking for a school to send my young man to school. Don't tell me they should come because you win. And why should they come? Because of what? We'll start with you, Wydell. Why should a parent send their kid to you? What would your answer be?
Well, my first answer will be every parent shouldn't send their kid to me because I'm not for every parent.
Elaborate.
I mean, I'm going to coach your child hard. I'm going to hold them accountable. I'm going to make them work. You know, like I tell parents in a minute, you know, I seem nice, but I take pride in what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. So if you don't want your kid coached hard and yelled at and screamed at and challenged, then I'm not the coach for them, man. Like, don't even look my way because I can't coach them. And that's just been a blessing for me. I don't have great parents around me that understand that it ain't personal. It's a challenge, that I love my kids, you know what I'm saying? I'll do anything for them, but every kid can't play for me.
Yes, sir.
And I'll tell that dad that, like, this might not be the place for your child if you don't want him coached, if you don't want him taken out when he make a mistake, if you don't want him yelled at when he miss a rebound, then don't let him come play for me because I can't deal with it because I'm going to coach him.
There aren't parents out here like that. Why?
I wouldn't know.
Everybody would want you to hold their kid accountable.
No.
Okay, Coach Ray, that question straight to you. Why would I send my kid to East Lansing and play for Ray Mitchell? Not because you just won the state championship, but why should I send my child to you, Coach?
Well, you know, first of all, man, our community is like a cultural melting pot, right?
Yep.
We have over 60 nationalities that walk in our hallways. We've had some very successful alumni. Our academics is very high. Our college rate is very high. You know, we're one of the better academic schools in the state. So it's really not about basketball. The basketball part kind of like takes care of itself, but if you do come play basketball for me, you know, I want to see you move on to that next level. Like, we play our style of ball so I can prepare you to play at that next level. You know, a lot of people say, hey, man, why you ain't pressing and trapping? You got all them athletes. Well, guess what? How many colleges press and trap? I don't want my guys to get to college and not know how to play, huh?
Hey, you gonna make people mad, Ray. Chill out, man.
Hey, Ray, stop talking real sense. That's all he's saying.
Well,
keep on going, man, because people need to hear this.
I'm gonna get you ready for that next level. That's what I want to do, you know, and
amen.
That's what we seek to do.
Oh well, no, that's some great stuff. Go, G. I know you have a question for the group.
Well, speaking of that style, guys, really, you guys, like I said, heck of athletes. But let's talk about, and I know y'all touched on it, but I want to hear, number one, again, remind us of the number of years that you were an assistant, Ray, at two proud winning programs, because each of you won state championships as an assistant coach. Talk about your years of preparation and how comfortable each of you were with being a hell of an assistant coach. Why I want you to go first. Specify the number of years that you were an assistant and then elaborate.
I was assistant coach at Persian for 6 years. And, you know, I learned a lot during that time. I learned how to be assistant. I learned a lot of things. I learned it wasn't my program. And, you know, no matter how I felt, I had to be an assistant coach to the head coach. It was a beautiful thing working with A-Dub. You know, he was a general. You know, I mean, you know, I'm strict, but he was, if it's 301 and practice was at 3, you're late. There's no excuses. So for me, it was just me about sponging up things, you know, learning, had some great people around me. Like I said, Mark Verge, Gerald Weatherspoon, man, he came over to Persian, man. And he taught me about making in-game adjustments. A lot of coaches can't do it on the fly. So if you're going to be a great coach, you got to be able to make in-game adjustments when you realizing what a coach is doing. And for me, it was just sponging things up, you know, like putting my own style with it and just doing whatever the head coach wanted me to do as an assistant. But I was there. I was pretty much the head coach could leave and I could run the practice.
There you go.
You know, and it wouldn't be a drop off, you know.
So when you talking Gerald Spoon, you talking about from McKenzie?
Yeah.
It's funny you said that, because now G, this just triggered a thought when he said the name. The first person that told me that I needed to continue my education in the coaching world was Coach Spoon. He was the one who told me about the coaching clinic out in Las Vegas. That's how I got out to Las Vegas to go to a coaching clinic. It wasn't Coach Kelso, because Coach Kelso had it all in his head. You know, it was all in his head. But for a guy like Coach Spoon, and I've always loved Coach Spoon and respected him, because It was a guy, he from McKenzie. He like, Ralph, you're doing a great job, but you got to get you some more intel and learn from other coaches from across the country. So that's a great point. Go ahead, G.
No, Ray. Number of years as an assistant. Talk about how that helped develop you as a coach.
Yeah, yeah, I was over at Lansing HS for 8 years, and Coach Valentine is like a coach, but he's like an historian, right? Yep. He remembers, and he's a great storyteller as well, and he remembers every single thing. He was coached by the winningest high school coach ever, right? Morgan Wooten. So, and Judd Heathcote, the great, MSU coach. So, man, daily he would quotes from Mr. Wooten that I still use for my team to this day. This comes from the winningest coach ever at the high school level, right?
Wow.
So first thing I learned was like basketball, it doesn't matter what era you coaching, right? It's simple.
Yeah.
If you really know what you're talking about, and if you really can break it down and simplify it for the kids. So that was the first thing. The second thing is, man, Coach Valentine, I'm doing half the stuff that we did at Sexton. Like half the drills we do every single day. Like Wydell said, like you learn so much, but then you got to put your own spin on it, right? And as an assistant, my job was to assist Coach Valentine, add my 2 cents, and kind of follow his footsteps when he was coaching. But then when I got my own program, I had to put my little twist and spin, but still keep the foundation, the stuff that we definitely all agreed upon. And then, you add your own little flavor to it. So I gained so much knowledge, man, from him as far as ball reversals, talking on defense, attention to detail. Like I said earlier, that character quote, that's from him. Man, Morgan Wooten, man, taught him so much stuff. I can't give all these secrets away, but man, there's all these different quotes, man. And I was just talking to Valentine yesterday. I said, man, I'm going to call you, and I want you to tell me everything that Morgan Wooten taught you. Like, this is yesterday. I'm like, I need all of that. So I'm going to call him probably sometime this week and see if he gets some free time. And it'll probably take some conversations. Because like I said, Carlton remembers everything, but it's a coaching tree, right? It's not just from him. It's from the people that coach him, right? And wherever they got their knowledge from, it trickles down. And that makes you prepared for these situations, right? If you're really true about what you're trying to do, your craft, you soak all of that stuff in and you try to apply it to your own philosophies.
Also, Coach, we got a question from a brother named Tyson. The question is, he said, Ray, it was rumored that last summer that Montein Cleaves Jr. was going to come to East Lansing. How true or close was that maybe happening?
Man, Montein lived right down the street from me, man. Walking distance. I see this kid walking to school, driving to school every day. I'm licking my chops. I'm like, I'm going to have Montein Cleaves. We had another kid, a 6'8" kid at Orchard Lake St. Mary's, was at my middle school, Quincy Wright, man, I'm planning this crazy dynasty in my head. So, but Montein was working down in Pontiac, and, that commute every day was getting to him. So I understood the situation. I ain't mad at him, but man, I wanted him bad because I also work at this club called the Michigan Athletic Club. It's an athletic facility right outside East Lansing, and I would see Montein in there drilling young Montein like every day, just working, having them just do all these crazy drills and getting them right. And I'm like, man, I'm about to have me one, but then it kind of slipped out my hand. They moved, but, I wish him the best. He's going to be a great player.
Okay, great. That's some great stuff because people are asking a lot of questions. Hey, Wydell, I want to go to, because that Persian tree. Now, we had a long list of players that come out of Persian.
Yep.
Just your years, not even the years you coached, but past years. Who would you say the best player to come out of Persian? Who would the best player to come out of Persian? I know my answer.
Well, listen, I'm gonna tell you y'all answer. While we on air, since he put me on the spot.
What did I
Steve Smith.
Ain't no question about it.
Stevie Smith.
Smitty.
I told he didn't realize.
Steve Smith. No, I didn't. But I go with that. But me, I'm biased. The best though, boy. I think it don't even matter no more. Was Keith Applin, man. Like No, he was a bad boy, man.
No, I watched
he was
him.
a bad boy, man.
But I'm gonna tell you, man.
You know, hey, but Smitty, I heard Smitty was, but
man,
you know,
Smitty, listen to me, man. I got to share this story because he was one of those guys that he had the size, but he had the ball handling, but he had the skill set. I remember playing,
and his IQ was
crazy. His IQ was unbelievable. So I don't know if you know this, Brother Ray, or Wydell. They did an article. I think it was one year he was it at Michigan State, or was he coming out of good? No, it must have been at Michigan State. But they labeled him, think about this now, the two names, they labeled him Irvin Gervin.
Yep.
Now that's how good he was. When you should see him
Magic
down at this, listen, think about that.
Yeah.
Magic and the Iceman.
Yeah.
They named him Irvin Gervin, seeing him down at the Saint and playing up against up close and personal. The stuff that he was able to do was crazy.
Yeah.
And he was doing it in the game.
Free knee injury.
Oh my God. It was crazy.
I don't even want to talk
well,
about
y'all hear that. Hey, that's the state champ saying that, man. Steve,
I'm telling y'all, Smitty was a call.
And G Ward looking at me like he's standing on it, you know.
Oh, I told you that. We was down there. Hey, keeper. Deion Dismuke, we proud of you too, honey. Deion doing a hell of a job too.
That's my guy.
Yeah,
that's my guy. He was a point guard general.
Floyd
ran the team for us for sure.
So guys, the one thing about it, why you're about to embark on something, and now when you go into the team camps, your guys get to feel this. Everybody looking at them.
Everybody
looking at them. Now we done lived that, and now it's the social media age. So, I don't even know how it would have been the summer of '87, us going into our senior year. But now, Ray, you got one. And now y'all got a couple weeks. In May, y'all got to start getting prepared for Summer League. The Michigan versus Ohio camp in Ohio. B-Cam, all of this. How do you get your juices flowing all over again and get your guys up and get prepared to compete for what they about to embark on this summer and this coming season? Because the expectations are there. You got a three-peat, and Ray, you got a repeat. Why? You go.
Well, for me, I had a lot of young guys, and we had a lot of great practices, man. And I think the ride that we went on, I think I had, I had great leadership from my seniors. They know, my young guys know what's expect. They was able to feel the ride that we went on, and if they want to do it again, they're gonna have to work. They know it wasn't easy. It's gonna take a lot of hard work, and we gonna hit the floor rolling. I told the commentator that I'll be back. I plan on going back. That's every coach's dream, but we gonna hit the floor rolling. We gonna get in the weight room. We gonna lift. We gonna grind. We gonna do what we do: jump chairs, run hills. We gonna put the work in. We not gonna take no days off, no plays off, and hopefully we can get back there and do it again.
There we go. Come on, Ray.
Yeah, well, my guys, man, I told them I was going to give them a week off, right? Then our spring break fell after that week. So they got their little 2 weeks off. But come Monday, man, we back in the lab, right? Because Wydell alluded to this earlier, it's a lot of guys who wasn't on the team. We graduate 8 seniors, right? So the new guys, they got to learn the lay of the land. And the expectation part, man, I look at it as, man, people already been kind of like shooting for us. Obviously, it's going to be on another level, but we kind of been experiencing that, the last few years. So we got to make sure we prepare and be prepared, be ready for that. But, man, we excited about summer ball. That's when you kind of like figure out where you at as far as like the best teams in the state and the best teams in the Midwest. Because those Ohio teams, man, them teams, man, their enrollment at their school is crazy. Like they got double and triple our enrollment. So they got like 3 times the people they can choose from. So them teams are legit. So it's crazy because the first year we went down there, we went 1-3, right? And you kind of asked me this question earlier. Then the year before this year, we went 2-2. But last year we went 4-0. So that's when I knew we really had something because we played the top teams. We was in the top tier.
Yeah, sure did. Me too. Me too, right?
Those teams kind of measure your team against what happens in the summer. I truly believe that. So we try to play the best teams. When people ask us to come to different events, we try to make sure we playing quality opponents, and we really want to like get our young guys used and accustomed to playing at that level, and just see how they react and respond, and then you take it from there.
Wow. All right, I gotta get somebody has a question. Jonetta Johnson, she said Marcus Taylor and Courtney Scott's 2000 team, Everett 2014, Sexton's back-to-back recent titles, and this year's East Lansing title team. Put them in any order. Ray, that's strictly for you.
And you know what? Because people have been talking about this, man, and I always say this, man. To me, it depends on what y'all do after high school, right? Like every era is different. It's kind of like the Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James thing, man. All them teams were great in their own right. But then you got to look and see what those guys did after high school. That's how I value it. You know, she left out probably the best team ever, Magic Johnson, 1979.
Right. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Foremost, that man won 3 championships at high school level, college level, and pro level in 3 years. So that's first, right? Those other 3 squads, like I said, y'all do the math. I don't have to do the math. She can do the math. What did those guys do after that? You know, Sexton had a couple pros, right? Marcus Taylor went to MSU. You know, Everett had some really good players. I can't judge and determine that. That's not what I do. All I do is try to make my guys be the best they possibly can be and see how successful they can be when they leave me. You know, I don't get caught up in all of that because anybody can argue the strengths and weaknesses to all of those teams. Those were all great teams, man, for their time, and they were all champions, right? You can't take that away from them, and that's all I look at.
Yeah, I think she was just being you know, having having a little fun with the question, talking about high school, because I'm gonna tell y'all, y'all want to get to the nitty gritty. If y'all want to get to the nitty gritty, the best Class A team. Wydell, you're not in here right now. Okay,
go ahead.
The best Class A team that ever won it would be what year would it be?
For you? For me, I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I'm gonna think that middle team. Well, that first one was a bad.
Think about it.
I really believe ever.
I think that yes. I'm saying ever. Even though, cause don't think about what people did. Because Ray made a great point after high school, but I'm talking about only in high school with the players. What team you think was the best one ever?
Damn, that's tough.
Come on, what you doing? Where you at?
Well, I'm thinking 80. I think for us, for me, I'm thinking it's got to be one of the 3. I mean, hell,
which one of the 3? Of course, it's gonna be one of them. But which one you saying?
I would have to say with that versatility. Almost won. I'm leaning 87.
I'm leaning 87. 87. I think 87.
They said that 92 Persian team was a mum, though. Williams, Twig, Theron. They was Ty Burden.
But they wouldn't have
Willie.
Our physicality in 87, they wouldn't have been able to continue with that.
Hey, that's a good debate. Y'all bring it up.
That's not even it. I'm listening what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, they said that 92.
No, listen, I'm with you. If they thought they lost to our 92 Cardinals team in the city championship, if they thought they lost to them, that's not even comparable.
Yeah.
Because
I'm just saying, you know.
Daniel and Yeye, you gotta think about that. In 87, Reese wasn't even, you know,
he wasn't even on the
Reese
court
wasn't even like it. It wasn't even like that. So Yeye and D would have manhandled some of them guys. Them guys were spinning too.
And so you got to, and those guys were physically.
Hey, hold up.
Go ahead.
Right? Y'all, y'all on that city shit. You know what I'm saying? What about what about them Flint squads? You know what I'm saying? They have some squads.
Okay. So we played a couple of Flint squads.
Yeah, Glenn Rice and them 85. That 85.
Yeah, they was tough.
That 85.
They wasn't no joke.
They was tough. Because it was
Anthony Pendleton, G. Rice.
Yeah, they was
Kevin Rice.
No, they was loaded too. I just think that, and this is just my personal opinion. I'm just gonna say because at the time, Kelso had drilled into us. It's sort of like what you guys have done with your teams. We're going to do it. We're going to play a certain way. We don't care what happens. We're going to run our offense. And if we run our offense, we're going to expose the weak defender on the other side. Guaranteed. And if we run our offense and we're shooting a high percentage, those guys will come down and jack up shots and they'll find themselves down 8 to 10 points and they'll never recover. So we all understood our role. And I'll give you an example. Going back to 1988 state championship game. Well, I was a leading scorer for the team. I was averaging 24 a night. But in the state championship game, people forget I only had 12. But Kelso said
terrible.
It wasn't that I played terrible. That was not. No. That wasn't. This is a dude. This is what happened. Kelso said, "Listen, we're throwing the ball inside because they're small." So I understood the role. And if you ever go back to watch the commentary, they said I had to get going. I'm thinking I wasn't never getting going because I know what the mission was: throw it in the Big D and Reese, and that's it.
And they couldn't do nothing about it.
So we understood that, and I would want to know, did those teams understand who they were, and could they continue to play our style of play for a whole 32 minutes? It'd have been great competition. I miss it. I miss it.
Yeah.
Especially without the shot clock.
Yeah.
Well, for me on that same topic, man, and I know Ray had to do it too, man. I had 5 guys that I believe on any other team could average 20.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so for me, from the summer when I got them, my whole thing was play for Lincoln, don't play for self. And
nice.
Wow.
You know, with social media area and everything, air out, and everybody want to get, you know, social media. It was times where, like Ray said, they weren't moving the ball. You know, one person get the ball and just stand there, and then it helped us be successful. So, like I said, man, the state championship game, it brought tears to my eyes because I was drilling it all year. Play for Lincoln, not self. And I text those seniors, you know, right before the state tournament started and said, hey, look, congratulations to all y'all that received awards and accolades out the division, out the conference. I say, but all that's over past now. I say to the guys that didn't receive nothing, it don't matter. We got one goal, and that goal is to win the state championship. And in the state championship game, I had 5 guys, and 4 of them had the highest score was 13. 4 of them was in double figures. So I had 1 with 13, 2 with 12, 1 with 11, and then Moses had 9. So I'm like, that was togetherness more than anything. And, you know, it showed me that when you're willing to sacrifice, because them guys sacrificed a lot. Marcus was a 24 points, 24 night guy. I mean, he had the shots was taken away from him when Gian came over. You know, Gian was a 25-point guy at Oak Park. You know, shots was taken away from him. Sometimes they was getting mad coming over there. He looking me up. No, he ain't looking you up. No, he trying to get his off. It's like you get yours off. So we just had to buy into just playing together and playing for the program and the school and not self. And, you know, we was able to do it for 7 games and get it done again.
Wow. Great. That's great stuff. Go ahead, G, because we're going to get out here in a minute.
Well, I just, again, man, salute to you guys. I think my last question, and I've talked about this for years. I would look at you guys and I see, you know, oftentimes we talk about the dads, man, and it was well documented, Ray. You saw KJ hugging Kelvin after one of the games in the state tournament. Why, obviously, the twins, what they've been able to do. Talk about how coaching in this era, right here, right now, because the one thing Coach didn't have to deal with, as strong of a dad as Ralph's dad was, the old dude was not invasive at all. As a matter of fact, he would ask us questions, ask Ralph questions, what y'all gonna do about such. But when he saw Coach, he kicked it. How has the parents impacted your program, and what a great job they've done in your mind to not get in the way and allow you to coach your kids?
Coach, you want to start that? Coach Mitchell?
Andre, Kelvin, and David, man, I think they kind of like set the tone for everybody else because they leave me alone. Like this year was
Coach, real quick. Coach, really quick. Explain to me who is Andre and Dave? Who are those people that you just named?
For the fans that don't know.
Yep. All right. Kelvin Tolbert, the #1 recruit back in the 2000s, went to MSU. #1 recruit in the country is KJ Tolbert's father. David Thomas was a point guard when my team went out and got hurt for that championship run. He was on the championship team and he played point guard and wing. And then Andre Hudson played forward for a 2000 championship team at MSU. These guys are MSU players and professional basketball players who were the fathers of 3 of my stars on my team. And we never had any conversation about X's and O's, really about anything. I've known those guys ever since they were playing college ball. So we already had a relationship, but they just let me coach. And like I said, I kind of like, This year we had the least amount of parents coming to me. Now, obviously, I know, when you have a team and you're kind of like heavy at the top, people get frustrated when their kids don't play. I understand that because, you know, our team was really good. Our team was so good that I truly believe I could have plugged in any of my guys at any point in time and they play. But the parents were just awesome, man. They didn't complain. They were supportive the whole time, and they just made my job easy. Not to worry about, you know, trying to keep somebody happy because we don't do that anyway. But, you know, it wasn't any distractions, and it kind of started at the top, you know, with those guys.
Wow. Oh wow, that's great stuff, wow. Coach. I gotta. You want to go?
No, well, I gotta ask.
Okay, go ahead. Wow.
Well, for me, once again, shout out to my parents also, Ray. Man, I didn't have parents coming to me complaining about their kids playing because I be honest with them. You know, like,
gotcha.
Hey, I want to win, and if your son can help me win, I'm gonna put him on the floor. And you know, most of my parents knew I had 6 seniors that was coming back that was gonna be in the rotation. Mm-hmm. I tried to get 8, you know, during the regular season, but during the state tournament, you know, it got a little bit. I shrunk it a little bit and only played 6, and that's special. That's kudos to those guys that was able to do that. But yeah, my parents was great. I have a parent meeting at the beginning of the season, and I tell them my expectations, what I expect, what I'm doing to do, and I have no favorites. You know, and the kid that worked the hardest and do what he's supposed to do, that's who's going to play.
Oh man, that's listen. So one thing about it, it's I just think about this and see, it sounds like Coach Ray and Coach Wydell, you two guys are really from the old school.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm not going to even lie, Wydell, when I first, you know, met you and seeing the team, I just thought Wydell kind of one of the Persian guys. But I didn't know. You understand what I'm saying? And it takes time for people to develop. And now just seeing the teams and seeing what you guys been able to accomplish, you guys are really from the old school. No. And so you guys took lessons from the old school, incorporated what you knew, and then took some of the new school stuff. Great but point. Being able to take on the on your shoulders, hey parents, I really love your kids. I'm here to do one thing. That's to help your kid to become a great young man, a productive member of our society. Yep. This is not just about basketball. This is about life. And I hear this just from the beginning of this conversation to now. It is great to hear. And of course, we got a comment. Somebody just said, hey, what did they say? Oh, man. Such great conversation. We need more Black male leaders like us four. I should have been in that category because I ain't coaching right now. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But let me add this. I want to add this to you two guys. Maybe, just maybe, the state of Michigan should do this. Next year, the Division I team and championship Division I team should play Division II, and Division III championship play Division IV. The last 2 games after the winners have done their thing, that would be fun. I think that would be so because you have met you and
well, you know, me and Ray 1-1, so you know I'm always good. We can always bump, baby.
Y'all can always bump, baby.
I ain't scared of no good bump, man.
Yeah, he ain't scared of no good bump.
No, that would be great. Somebody asked that question. Did me and Ray ever play each other? And I just want to say, for me, my whole schedule was full with Division I's. I didn't play no Division II teams until the state tournament. So my schedule every year is always to play the best of the best in the state. I don't play my brother G Ward no more, man. You know, I don't play, and I ain't gonna play him next year. So don't even ask me. But,
listen, this. So now listen. All right, to that point, what advice do y'all? Because I'm hearing this as a Division II coach, or if you in middle school, or if you in just in PAL or whatever, you're playing up. So my question is, what advice will you give to guys that's coaching on the middle school level? What advice would you give them?
Wow. For me, it would be, you know, don't focus on winning. You know, worry about developing and getting discipline and structure to these young men. Like, winning ain't important on the middle school level. You know, just basically. So I would tell them, like, just work on the fundamentals, getting the kids better, and make them and be disciplined in your program. And if you do that, you're gonna win. So that's what they don't understand. If you get discipline and structure, you'll have success. But that'll be the biggest thing for me. Like, not so much concerned about winning games, but just trying to help these young men become, you know, young adults.
Okay, Coach Ray, you.
I mean, hey, he said it all, man. I would just be repeating what he said, which is I guess I'm gonna say it anyway. But Fundamentals, man. Don't worry about the winning. Because you go to these middle school games and they just pressing in traffic, don't know no defense. That you get them, they can't shoot a reverse layup. They don't know what a jump stop. They don't know a pro hop. It's bad, you know. And I get it. I don't blame the coaches because I always say they only know what they know. Maybe they don't understand the game. They see it on TV and they ain't really played it. So they trying to coach to the best of their ability. But like research, talk to the high school coach in that neighborhood that you sending the kids to, and just try to get some quality drills, right? And maybe some quality offensive and defensive philosophies that'll help those kids when they get to the high school level. Because if you're doing all this stuff in middle school and it don't transfer, the kid's going to be behind and it's going to take them a while to catch up. Like, we need to be more connected with our middle schools. And you know, I think that's something that, you know, it's a statewide thing that it'll be more productive if we were allowed to. You know, it's crazy because we can't really even mess with them like that. You know, I go and watch, but I can't say anything. And it's like, oh, man, why not? Why not be able to influence some of the kids that'll be coming to me later and just give them a heads up on what my expectations are, you know? So it's kind of weird, but, you know, at least I always want to make sure I do put a bug in the ear about the fundamentals.
Oh, no doubt about it. I think, see, this is great stuff. And this is really where I think we're having this great disconnect here in Michigan, because we have so many rules and so many things that they're just handcuffing us. Because think about it, Coach Ray, like you just said, you should be able to have input. And those young guys should be welcoming you in. Same thing with Coach Wydell. They should welcome guys in and making sure that they're learning. And I think if they let go of their egos, it would help out the entire community. And we can get back to not just Lansing or Detroit, the whole state of Michigan being back on that plane where we were the top. You know, we was top in the country as a recruiting bed. So now we need to get back to that. I think that's where we've lost that, and we need to get back to it. And we need to get some rule changes, because Coach Ward, y'all with the BCAM, y'all, I think personally, y'all have to push the envelope even more. And how could you guys do that even more? Is there a way that you can do it, or is there resistance from that?
Well, you know, it's crazy, Ralph, and you really get a lot of pushback. And I know Ray and why they know this. The pushback really comes from the athletic directors. And I can be totally transparent. So I've begged, and you know, obviously Keith Guy and I are up there all the time with BCAM. And so we begged for the shot clock. So for years we begged for more games. So they gave us 2, and we can't complain. So I think we need 2 more. You know, so for years it was 20. For years, it was just 20 games before the state tournament. Now we're at 22. I'll say let's make it 24. For the last 5 to 6 years, we have literally begged for the shot clock. And what you get is so many athletic directors, I'm going to be honest, who are saying they don't want to do it because they feel like it's too much work. They got to be there. They got to train somebody. And the studies and statistics have shown that is really not a lot of work. Somebody can really run a shot clock.
No, I'm not trying to be funny.
You and I both know that. So again, this is part of the problem that we're facing, and you try to push it. And I've gone into those meetings and I've said, look, man, I'm not here just to say I'm on this committee. And so they've done some things, and I can honestly say BCAM has pushed for some things. The MHSAA has really, really kind of held back and said, man, you know what? No, we're not ready for that yet. And the shot clock is coming. But the sad part about it is, as you guys already know, Ray, is it's probably going to be in effect when the country adopts it. And pretty soon the National Federation of High School Athletics, they're going to adopt it.
So let me ask you this, because I don't know much about how it works. Just imagine, and I'm using this because the big homie DC would do it. What if somebody put on the summer league this summer, and they said, we're doing summer league games and you all guys come play, but we have the shot clock and we have a 30-second shot clock. Would you guys go and play?
DC,
or would it be against the rule?
No, DC did a couple years ago.
I know.
And we loved it.
Yeah.
Like everybody loves it. Ray has played in them. Y has played in. So what they've done, Ralph, is they give, I think, 4 events or 5 events during the season. Ralph, you've been to a game where we played at North Farmington a couple years ago. Every year they have a shot clock event.
East Kentwood,
Kentwood,
up there in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Shot clock.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. But again, you're talking about all these athletic directors who, man, they really looking at this thing like, man, we don't want to get involved in, because there's too many schools. I'm gonna be totally transparent. There's too many schools who really don't care about basketball anyway.
So here's to the point. Coach Wydell, Coach Ward, Coach Ray, I think what you guys should do is have some type of a summer league each at y'all facility. I know I'm putting y'all on the spot.
No,
and then y'all have shot clock. So then see if East Lansing come and play, Warren Lincoln, Detroit King, and some of y'all other teams keep guiding them. We bring them all together, and we start on one side of the state. One weekend we at Wydell Gym. Then the next weekend we up in East Lansing or Muskegon, then we move it around. But those are all shot clock games. I promise you, then at the end, you follow up when we end at Detroit King, somewhere down in Detroit, where we have shot clock games. This is about preparing young men for the college level.
I agree.
And I just, it's so the craziest thing, because we talked about this for many, many years. And now we're still stuck and handcuffed. And you telling me that they're going to MHSAA, going to give you 2 games, 4 games. What is that?
They just did it. They just gave us a survey. I had to fill it out. Ray had to fill it out.
Okay.
Where they asked us the benefits of the shot clock. And for years, we've said, hey, man, it's something that needs to take place.
They're getting ready for college.
Think about this, the number of games. We've even said, make it where the games during the Christmas time don't count against the 22. The athletic directors are saying no, because again, they got
to do more work.
No, but if you don't have it at your facility, you don't have to do more work.
Yeah,
like that's really garbage to say that, because Ralph, if you're playing in Wydell's tournament, if you playing at Motor City Round Ball, if you playing anywhere else, you don't have to be there as the athletic director.
Man, listen, I'm telling y'all, that would be the key. Y'all should start not this summer, but maybe next summer. Y'all start working on that, because you guys will be around for some more years. If you guys do, and I think about it, the top coaches say, listen, wherever the top coaches and teams are playing, I don't care what nobody say, other people are coming.
No question.
And then you put in the shot clock and say, I don't know what you call the tournament, but whatever it is, this is the shot clock tournaments. It's going to be held at, listen, Warren Lincoln. Yep. It's going to be at East Lansing. It's going to be at King. It's going to be up in Muskegon.
Yep.
Now what happens, everybody, you're going to have at least, I could imagine 20, 30 teams that's going to sign up, if not more.
You still talking about the summer.
Yeah.
Guess what?
I know, but I'm saying,
please don't, man.
But listen, y'all running the schools, man. Y'all should be able to do this, man. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, man. I'm just telling you.
Hey, Ray,
but anyway,
we appreciate you, Ray.
Brother Ray, man, listen, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. Keep up with the good work out there in East Lansing. And next year, give my boy G a shot. Let them win a game. Let them get the state championship. You know what I'm saying? Wydell, you ain't got nothing to do with G. You going to come back. We going to put a reservation sign on next year, Coach.
Right there.
Yeah. Listen,
I hope so, man.
But now next year, Coach, when you win it,
hey, Ray,
you coming in the basement now.
No, hey,
man,
Ray.
Look, if y'all would have invited me, I'd have came down there, man. I didn't know.
I did invite you, man. I
didn't know you said, I didn't know it. Come on, man.
We did this.
I feel you.
Yeah, because when G said he wasn't coming, I said, well, wait, maybe he waiting on Magic or something. Magic gonna come holler at him or something like that. I wasn't for sure. You know what I mean? But no, we really appreciate you, man. This was a great show, man. Y'all guys keep up the good work.
Yeah, great work, Ray.
Keep doing what you guys doing,
man. Proud of you too.
Hey, G, I got some shots out, man.
Go ahead, whatever y'all want to do. Go ahead.
People, it would be my, without remiss me saying, shout out to my administration, my athletic director, my principal, my superintendent, man. They stick by me, they stand by me, and I'm with them. And then I gotta give a shout out to my man Lebo, Khalid Williams, man. He the reason I took this job in Warren. He live in Atlanta now. He told me we was gonna build us a powerhouse, and he stayed 6 months.
Wow.
And left, man. So shout out to him, man. He said I never recognized him, man, because I wasn't gonna take this job, but I took it because of him, man. So Khalid, there you go, man. You getting your shout out, man. Yeah, Lebo. Stayed 6 months, G. We said we're gonna build us a powerhouse.
He knew what he was doing.
But exactly. He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew you was gonna do it.
He was putting up. See, this is what I like.
6 months though.
I don't even know who that is. I may know him when I see him, but I'm gonna tell you this: for a brother to do that for another brother, man, that's a stand-up guy. I gotta give him another hand clap for sure. Hey, Coach, Coach Ray, you got some shout outs. I know you do because up in East Lansing, I know you the man, Magic coming through, I heard. When he call you, let's make sure you call us to the party, man.
Yeah. You know, we got to start at the top, man. Thanks to my superintendent for giving me the opportunity to coach at my alma mater. I really appreciate that. She's been supporting me ever since I've been there. And even when I got the job, she was like, how long you plan on staying here? You know, we don't want nobody short term. I was like, I'm here. I'm trying to build a championship program, and I'm here for the long haul. So Ms. Dory Lako, shout out to her. The administrator at the school, our athletic department, athletic director, Ms. Nikki Norris. Man, the support staff, man. Man, we have so many people that help put the games together. Like George alluded to, man, it's enough people to run a shot clock, man. They got shot clocks all across the world, man. There's only 14 states that don't have a shot clock.
Man.
There's little kids is running shot clocks, bro. Anybody can run it. But, you know, back to my shout outs, man. Shout out to my coaching staff, man. These guys put in a lot of work, man. It's an unpaid job. And then so many man hours, man. Coach John Schweitzer, Coach Michael Johnson, Coach Lavelle Bland, and Coach Neil Miller, man. Those guys are just great. They have their different roles and they support me so much. So big shout out to those guys, man. We couldn't have done it without you guys.
Oh yeah, Ray. I got dang, man. My coaching staff too, man. Awesome staff, man. So I gotta give them a shout out, man, to my coaches too. Yeah, they do a wonderful job supporting me and being there for me. So shout out to y'all too, fellas.
Hey, and Kendall LaSure, don't ever come back on here talking about why I can't do another interview without getting a check.
Hey, you saw that, man? I laughed.
AK.
Well, I thought he was saying all of us, so I ain't saying nothing.
No, he talking about his main man over there. You know
Oh, well, sure, they tell me you making all the money.
I was about to say,
you could at least supplied the food or something, man. Damn. Hey, man, make sure y'all tune in next week. What we're going to do, we're going to have Truth Telling Tuesdays. Truth Telling Tuesday, we're going to talk about the transfer portal. And everybody, we make
high school or
both, everything.
Both.
High school,
middle school,
high school.
Now, I saw a mother. No, y'all laughing. Hey, Ray, I saw a mother go on social media and post her 11 or 12-year-old son and said, and the title said portal. He was going to another little league football team, and she made the announcement. And at that day, that's the day I said, you know what? It really is time for me to retire. We just going, hey, you know, I'm gonna get out there and do some construction work, man. I'm gonna go pick up the scraps or something for Rap. He gonna pay me a nice wage, man. It's over with. See, we're gonna talk about the portal next week, y'all.
We're gonna talk. That's gonna be on Truth Telling Tuesday, man. Make sure y'all tune in. We appreciate y'all for tuning into the show. Why, Coach Ray, man, y'all guys are doing what y'all should be doing. Y'all should have some coaching clinics. Make sure y'all invite Coach Ward because he needs some pointers on winning this state championship.
Hey, Ray.
Hey, it's going to be good, but we appreciate y'all, guys.
How many of us have them?
All right.
All right, fam. Appreciate it.
All right, Ray, man.
The champ is here. 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 The champ is here.
They say I couldn't come back.